This video is about the importance of the role of the male, the alpha male, and the female, the true female. We heard a lot of this talk about divine feminine and divine masculine and all the rest of it. And the way I see it is it's just, again, a returning to nature. If you do understand the elites and their religion, which is a satanic religion, which we can pretty much say openly now because so many people are aware of this, they worship that, I can't remember the name of it now, that goat's head, and it's got both male and female sexual organs. So this is why the transgender movement came to be. I'm not saying there's no genuine cases of transgenders and things like this, but generally speaking, when you look at like Liz Haley's son, who looks like a beautiful young lady, Will Smith's kid, all these celebs, the way what they do, what they're trying to actually do is they're trying to, through the collective consciousness and what we're subject to, they are trying to socially engineer true males out of society. Dan Painter, I'm not saying Dan Painter will resonate with everybody, but he's a hard-ass, old-school, hard man, okay? They call him the trillion-dollar man, or he's multi-billionaire. And he raises a good point. He said a woman's handshake in the 50s or the 60s, I think it was the 50s, he said per pound of pressure is way more than a man today. He said we're losing men. Now, it's an interesting one because I was brought up by what I would say was a good role models, male role models and female. My mother was an incredible mother, an incredible woman. She was a mother to all my friends. They all loved her. Very compassionate, very motherly mum. My wife is just an incredible example of this in the present day. We've been traveling around Australia and my wife from day one has said, I just don't get how many females now are yang in nature. They want the career at all, no matter what. They want to put their kids in daycare as soon as possible. They want to work on building sites. They're very masculine in their energy. And she said, I love being a mum. And that's the number one thing for me, is being a mother and a wife. And she's very nurturing. She is such a beautiful mother. And it's been beautiful because on the travels, many women from around the places we stayed at got to know Danielle, wanted to know Danielle's role in the family and what have you. And Danielle would always share with them and how powerful and important being a mother is. And I seen a number of people on the trip, a number of women who got their mojo back for being a mum rather than the career and you know, whatever. So my mum was a beautiful mother, and she took no shit. All right, my mum took no shit. But my father, you know, and my brother, let's say, for example, you know, they and my sister, to be honest with you, the family of a fight anybody mentality. Now, ego in that, and I don't think that's what stands for an alpha male, is somebody who'll just fight anybody. But the reason why I'd say my father was a good alpha male was because he had a massive heart, you see. My dad had a big heart, still has got a big heart. Wasn't afraid to show that. Always loved me. Always, when I was big and I was going through my phase of kickboxing and selling drugs and on steroids and was, an idiot myself. If he was in the house when I was going to bed, he'd give me a cuddle, a hug, and he'd give me a kiss. And he'd tell me he loved me. And it was a great role model for me. My dad's not afraid to show his heart. And he's a very loving man like that. So that's where I say a good alpha male comes in, because again, even growing up, my dad only ever hit me once, right, when I was younger, but my dad, and I could tell a few stories where I would push and push and push his buttons to the point where he'd just tell me straight, you keep doing that, I'm going to batter you, or I'm going to do, or he just put me straight. And I would stop, because he'd earned a lot of respect from me. And I think this social engineering is to get rid of alpha males. Parents can't be parents anymore. They can't. They're losing respect from their kids. Males now in all of the TV shows and the movies and the kids shows, males are portrayed as being like the mums, and the mums go out to work. Many examples of this. And many people might not agree with what I'm saying here, but the point where I'm going at is, in the indigenous tribes, the alpha male is the male who is not afraid to show love. In fact, the more the village or the town or the country, or even if it was a country leader, the more love they felt, and the more they stood for true morals and the right thing, the more they were respected. But they took no shit. It's a very important aspect, because whereas the elites are trying to merge the male and female and confuse everybody, right? And there's a perverted side to it as well. If we step back and look at nature doesn't make mistakes, and and don't get me wrong, there are I have met gays, female and male, who are as soon as they're born, they're maybe it's a little boy. It's a little girl in a boy's body. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, okay? There's whatever reasons for that, whether it's karmic reasons or whatever, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But this is an intentional confusion that's being brought on us. And if we look, generally speaking, at nature, a male is a male, a female is a female. Yin-yang pair create a new life, create balance in a relationship, in a family dynamic, okay? And that is getting lost right now. So there is definitely a need for males to be males. That doesn't mean that we all walk around thinking we're hard as nails. That's not what being a male is all about. A male should, if you think you'll fight anybody, that's ridiculous. Will you stand up for what is right for the benefit of everybody else? Will you be loving, caring, nurturing, supportive, selfless, humble, and put yourself secondary from everybody else, but stand up for what is right? Be an example for the children out there. Protect your families. This is what we need. We need true males who are not just going to surrender to what is happening in front of our eyes. And I'm calling all men to reflect on yourself and choose love. Always choose love. Always choose the peaceful road. You with me? Do spiritual practice, do meditation, care for your families, okay? Stop Stop coming from here and come from here. But be courageous. Don't stand for what's happening. Our rights are being stripped as we speak. We men need to come together. And the women need to be women. It's beautiful what's happening because it's pushing us in that direction, I believe. Okay? Times, it doesn't have to be hard. But it's not our fault as well, by the way. We're so conditioned to be afraid of upsetting people or afraid of, as I say, hating somebody's feelings or afraid of speaking the truth. That's wrong. That is wrong in itself. Even if it's your truth, because we actually control each other. It's us who then imprison each other because we're so afraid of speaking. This is what the political correct movement's doing as well. We're so afraid of speaking the truth and we're so afraid of hating people that we just suppress ourselves. So that this needs to go out the window. We need to come together because together we're strong, divided we're weak. Speak about solutions instead of getting together and thinking, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Where's the solution? Think of solutions. If you understand that the collective consciousness influences the world, start a group. Start a meditation group. Even if it's just with your mates. Okay? And observe the reaction. Because what will happen is, and it's beautiful, play with it. What will happen is, I'm not saying it'll absolutely happen, I hope it doesn't, but depending on how much respect you've got off your mates, one of a few things could happen. They're either going to say, you know what, I'm game. Or it might not be a meditation, it could be anything. It could be just a group that wants to try and help inspire or inform people of what's going on and solutions, helping people come together, growing your own fruits and vegetables in your own areas, making a stand to not comply with what's going on. Either people are going to be on board or they're gonna laugh at you, right? But observe that laughing, because it's an ego response. You with me? It's an ego response. Men who just want to talk about women, steak, beer and footy, right? I'm telling you that my friends in my life, they love that in a group setting, but if it's one-on-one, they're happy to talk deep. Because that's surface ego shit that no one cares about. While right in front of us, things are changing, and it is a great, beautiful opportunity for us to come together. So whether you want to call it divine feminine, divine masculine, or whether you want to just look at it as how nature made it to be, if you're a male on this beautiful plane we exist on, this Mother Earth, you are here to live your role, because it's so needed at this time of transition. We are in the midst of the Great Awakening. This is why this information's coming out. And I'm calling you to be a man. And I'm calling the women to be women, mothers, caring, nurturing. I love you all. Take care.